Representative Hodgson, you are a sponsor of House Bill 4, which seeks to end diversity, equity, and inclusion in Kentucky's colleges. Could you please define diversity, equity, and/or inclusion? Explain why you are in favor of or in sponsor of this House bill.
So, Martin Luther King back in the 60s said that he looked forward to a day when people would be judged by the content of their character and the color of their skin. My generation grew up believing that, hoping that, having a common vision for America. I think the DEI as currently implemented in our colleges, the schools, some government institutions, has gone the other way and said we are going to judge people by the color of their skin, and we're going to decide right out of the gate whether they're good people or bad people, whether we like them or hate them. In fact, the DEI coordinator for the Jefferson County Public Schools told a group of students that if you walk into any room full of people, that half of them hate you because of your race and will seek to harm you.
John Marshall works for JCPS. JCPS is not a university or college and would not be impacted by House Bill 4. Compare what Hodgson said to what John Marshall actually said.
The DEI coordinator for the Jefferson County Public Schools told a group of students that if you walk into any room full of people, that half of them hate you because of your race and will seek to harm you.
This is the comment from John Marshall. A few younger black professionals and students called me this morning and asked, "What's the strategy moving forward?" My response, regardless of the rooms, meetings, classes, etc. you're in, know the majority of whites could care less about you and have no issues harming you or yours. This tweet was in the context of the results of the 2024 election, in which candidates openly hostile to issues of race and prejudice won a majority. Black students are in the majority in JCPS, and their concerns and feelings expressed to John Marshall are no less valid than John Hodgson's.
We wrote a letter. We thought that was inappropriate language coming from somebody who's making $200,000 working for the school system, and that's the kind of thing we want to eliminate with Senate Bill 4, that we should not be judging people for the color of the skin, that we should be judging them by the content of their character. This is the land of equal opportunity, and I think everyone needs to have equal treatment under the law.
While Dr. Marshall's comments may provide John Hodgson and his Republican counterparts discomfort, he should note that there are plenty of reasons to question the content of the character of Hodgson's colleagues in the legislature. Bill sponsor Jennifer Decker tells the NAACP, "My father was a slave." State Representative T.J. Roberts, "It's time to admit that Martin Luther King Jr. really sucked." Representative Roberts also claimed Jewish people promote, quote, white genocide in a private chat from 2017 that was obtained by Hate Watch. There's Representative Walker Thomas and Senator Rick Girdler, who both used the same exact anti-Semitic phrase while they were in a presentation. Or perhaps Danny Bentley, who, in attacking mifepristone, an abortion pill, said it was developed during World War II and was called Zyklon B at that time, which is not true. He also added the person who developed it was a Jew. And then there's Kentucky Senator Philip Wheeler. I'll just let you read his comments on your own. The following is audio from my attempt to get Hodgson to clarify his comments during the Cafe Louis forum.
I asked the question about diversity, equity, and inclusion, and I noticed you didn't define them, so I wondered if you could define them for me.
I think diversity, equity, and inclusion as implemented at JCPS.
That's not my question. What is your definition of it? You don't have one?
Twisted the language a lot. I don't like having race-based preferences, treating people differently based on race.
Okay,
this should be,
so that's not diversity, equity, and inclusion.
okay, by your definition. I've seen
No, by actual definition, by actual implementation in JCPS. What is your experience in JCPS?
What is my experience
Yes.
at JCPS? None.
None? Okay, so you have no idea except you're mad at Dr. Marshall for what he said. Is that what I'm getting out of
I
this?
was not happy that Dr. Marshall, making $200,000 a year, made a statement
What does
like
his
that.
salary have to do with this statement?
It's
And what does
wasting
his salary have to do
taxpayers' money.
with your bill? Do you not understand what diversity, equity, and inclusion is. I don't understand how anybody's against those principles. So can you explain how you define them? That's why I asked that question.
Okay, diversity, as I would define it, is people of a variety of backgrounds coexisting in the same space. That's fine. That's
You
American.
think that's bad?
No, I think that's fine.
Okay, so you have a problem with diversity, equity, and
Equity,
inclusion.
as they define that, is creating the same outcome from disparate inputs.
Okay. Trying to. Yeah. Is that a
Okay.
problem?
It's absolutely a problem.
Why?
Yeah. Because if one kid does his homework and gets an A and the other kid
That's
doesn't
not
do
how
his
it's
homework.
defined.
Okay.
That's. I mean, no, you're walking away, but that's not how it's defined. I don't understand. Why is it hard to deal with? I mean, I really have a problem with the way Frankfurt's running because you're defining these concepts on your own, but you're wrong. I mean, can you explain that?
Yeah, I think Dr. Marshall came out and told a group
What
of
does
students.
Dr. Marshall have to do with diversity, equity, and inclusion in our universities? You tell me that.
He is the DEI
That's what the bill is about.
He's the DEI coordinator
He
for
has nothing to do with their
JCPS.
universities.
Okay,
Right.
well,
And I have had experience with diversity, equity, and inclusion people in JCPS. They have come out when there was a racist attack in our best high school, DuPont Manual. Okay? They came out and they talked to people and they had a very thoughtful program about diversity, equity, and inclusion. Had nothing to do with Dr. Marshall. It was a very, very good program. So that's something you want to eliminate?
so Ricky Jones came out on Dr. Marshall's side on this issue.
Yes. So,
Okay. Dr. Marshall told a group of students, said that
are you black?
Am I?
Yeah. Okay. Do you know how a black person feels? How many black people do you talk about how they feel about what's happening these days?
Dr. Marshall was teaching students
I'm
to
asking
judge.
you. How many black people do you know?
I'm done with you.
Why? Why can't you answer
You're
that?
just obnoxious. You interrupt. I see
But
you.
why can't you answer the questions?
Because you interrupt when I'm trying to.
Okay. Well, here. Then go ahead. Tell me.
I'm done with you.
Okay. Well, that seems to be the way it operates in Frankfurt.
It certainly will between you and me.
Like most of his colleagues in Frankfurt, John Hodgson wants to dismiss viewpoints and experiences with racism and bigotry because they make him uncomfortable. This is not a reason to get rid of diversity, equity, and inclusion.